Welcome to this practice of self-compassion. In this practice, you will cultivate thoughts and feelings of compassion for your own stress, difficulty, and suffering. Make sure you're sitting in a comfortable position. Start by taking a few deep breaths, focusing on the feeling of the breath going in and out of your mouth. Notice how it feels on your lips, your tongue, and in your throat and chest. Now bring to mind somebody that you care about. Picture this friend or loved one. Perhaps imagine being with them, or recall a favorite memory about them. Notice how you feel when you think of this friend or loved one. Notice any positive thoughts or feelings of gratitude, affection, or warmth that thinking about them evokes. Now, remember or imagine a time when they were suffering in some way. Notice how you feel when you think of them suffering. Choose to focus your attention on any feelings of tenderness or desire to help, and silently recite the following phrases for your friend or loved one. May you be free from suffering. May you be free from fear and anger. May you know peace and joy. May your mind be at ease. Then return your awareness to the natural rhythm of your breath. Now imagine yourself as a young child. Bring up in your memory a time when this childhood you was suffering in some way. When you see this child suffering, don't you feel instinctively protective towards this child? When you see this child suffering, don't you relate to this child with tenderness and a natural sense of caring? Let this feeling of compassion towards a childhood you permeate your heart, and then silently repeat these phrases for yourself as a child. May you be free from suffering. May you be free from fear and anger. May you know peace and joy. May your mind be at ease. Now think of a time in your adult life when you were suffering in some way. Perhaps you were sick or in pain. Perhaps you experienced some disappointment or loss. Notice how you feel when you remember this experience. Just as you responded to the suffering of a loved one and your childhood self with concern, tenderness, and the urge to help, you can offer yourself the same compassion. So, with feelings of warmth and caring towards yourself, silently repeat these phrases. May I be free from suffering. May I be free from fear and anger. May I know peace and joy. May my mind be at ease. Now create in your mind a compassionate image that represents the qualities of wisdom, strength, acceptance, love, nurturing, or caring. Imagine yourself in the presence of this source of compassion. Imagine yourself the recipient of its great compassion. Feel that in the presence of this compassionate image, you can be completely yourself. There is no judgment, only total acceptance. Allow yourself to rest in the feeling of unconditional compassion and acceptance. Imagine that as you stay in the presence of this compassionate image, it awakens in you your own source of strength, wisdom, and compassion. Renewed by this connection to your own deep source of compassion, recite in your own mind one more time for yourself. May I be free from suffering. May I be free from fear and anger. May I know peace and joy. May my mind be at ease. Now bring awareness to the area around your physical heart. Notice how this area gently expands or fills as you breathe in, and how it relaxes as you breathe out. For a few breaths, imagine that you could inhale directly into the center of your chest, expanding the chest, lungs, and heart. Then imagine that you could exhale directly from the center of your chest. Inhaling into the heart, exhaling out from the heart. Now bring to mind something that is creating some stress, pain, or suffering for you at this time in your life. Notice how you feel when you think about this. Consider the possibility that this source of pain or suffering does not isolate you from others, but is part of the experience of being human. Just like you, countless other beings know what it is like to feel this pain, or grief, or self-doubt, or fear. As you inhale, imagine that you could breathe in all the feelings that this experience brings up for you. Imagine opening your heart to this experience and allowing yourself to be touched by it. As you exhale, imagine that you could breathe out compassion for yourself and the countless other beings on this planet that may be suffering in a similar way in this moment. As you inhale, open your heart to the experience. As you exhale, send out compassion for yourself and for all others that are also suffering. Now silently recite in your own mind, may we all be free from this suffering. May we each find peace and joy. As this session draws to a close, let your heart be touched by a feeling of warmth, tenderness, and caring for your own needs, and rest your mind simply on the natural rhythm of your own breath.